Hi, Dad. How are you? Happy Labor Day.
Yes, I'm sort of sad. Summer is over.
It is.
I can't wear my shorts anymore, but I'm going to wear them anyhow. Freeze. But we got to enjoy a wonderful Hallmark last night. I really enjoyed watching The Catch of the Day.
We did. We actually enjoyed it 2 nights ago because today is Monday.
Right, we watched this Saturday night. You see how time
Flies.
It slips away from us. But it was very good.
Yeah.
We learned a lot about Montauk, New York, on the very easternmost portion of Long Island. And most people have never heard of Montauk. The whole area is wonderful, and it's full of affluent people. And of course, there are people who work in restaurants and in bars that have to work harder than the affluent people they serve. But the whole story was great. And it discussed about that whole scenario about families, about restaurants,
In the summer season.
and people flying out in helicopters.
Yeah. I thought it was great. It was an exciting movie, Catch of the Day, and it had a great cast. I thought we got to see.
They were two super people.
So it actually had Emily Uller up, and I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing it. Maybe Amelie. I'm not sure because she actually comes to us from Denmark, from Copenhagen. So she
was terrific.
She's
what a
terrific.
wonderful actress.
She was great, but we recognize her from actually being on Chesapeake Bay. If anybody of you guys are fans of that series when it was on, she was on that as one of the sisters. And then we also had Michael Ratty, who played Cam. So she played Sophie, and then her love interest was Cam, who was played by Michael Ratty.
And they played it wonderfully.
Yes, and then Hallmark, for no surprise, I don't think they brought in Katie Lee Begal, I think it is pronounced, who played Abigail, the sister. Now, she is from the Food Network. She has 4 cookbooks out. She is on the show The Kitchen, which is an Emmy Award-winning talk show. So she is renowned food, but she played the sister who had no idea how to run the kitchen. So it was kind of cute, I thought.
Well, what was so good about it was that it was very realistic. We all have heard of The Catch of the Day. But remember that the catch of the day today is pretty expensive when you buy fish that came from the sea, because most of our fish is farmed.
Oh, yeah?
Yes. And so they talked about that, and a lot of people have had frozen fish.
Which they showed in this movie too, which was pretty funny.
Not catch of the day. But you know, Hallmark actually filmed this show in Montauk, on location, whereas if you remember yesterday or last week, they filmed
in Alabama, I think.
In Alabama, and said it was Wisconsin.
Yep.
So Hallmark really brought geography to us. It brought fishing industry to us. It brought a wonderful food source to us.
Yeah.
And they brought love.
Yeah, absolutely, which we expect from Hallmark, the love part, right?
Yes.
And I loved seeing, we saw Sophie, who had ended up leaving Montauk to go to the city, the big city, to be a chef. She was raised in a family-run restaurant by her father, who started this restaurant. It was a family business, who was a chef. And it sounded like she wasn't there for a lot of the moments when he had passed, and it was just a wonderful story because she was trying to become this 4-star chef. She was a sous chef. She really wanted to have her own restaurant and be the executive chef at one.
A lot of people have watched The Bear on TV, and you saw how very strenuous being a chef and working in a kitchen could be. And Hallmark brought this to us, showing that it's not a glorious job being a chef.
To work out.
It's hard. And she discussed in this Hallmark that it's long and arduous hours. And when you go home at 3 o'clock in the morning after you cleaned up the scraps, you've got to come back the next day and be prepared for the next onslaught of food preparation. And how they weaved all that together into a love story.
Right. I loved it. And she came back home. She ran into, which I love that they kind of showed that they could have met earlier on when he was delivering fish to the restaurant she was working in, but they kind of just passed by.
The two ships passing.
Right. And so it's about timing. And so then they ran into each other when she got caught up into this net, and he kind of passed by, and seemed like they had a relationship in the 7th grade, and when they finally got into high school, he kind of left her for a new group of friends.
Hallmark does this.
Yes.
We find in Hallmark that these lovers that we see many years ago had a thing for each other. Yeah. And a lot of people have met their spouse when they were in the 7th, 8th, and 9th grades, went on to a different life, and suddenly they come back, and out of nowhere they bump into somebody that they knew, and Hallmark makes a love story out of it.
And here we are. And so then it showed just them having a really good time, a great summer, her finding her joy, I think, because it seemed like she was missing that in life. She was working and, not getting the recognition she wanted in the restaurant, and rekindled her relationships with her family and her father, even though he had passed, being in his kitchen and the memories.
Their joy for life.
Yes, I loved it.
Yes, and again, it showed that people from small towns who succeed in the large cities now can go back to their small towns like Montauk, which has only 5,000 people, and develop a life of cooking and kitchen preparation and opening up wonderful small restaurants.
Yeah, and we got to see great food. I mean, they showed some phenomenal food. If you do not watch this movie hungry, it's like, do not go to the grocery store hungry.
Yes.
Do not stream this when you're hungry. You're going to be wanting something to eat, because the food you saw was gorgeous.
Right.
But I thought, what did you think? 5 stars? I really enjoyed it.
It was a wonderful show.
I loved it.
What we don't see yet is, everybody's falling in love and everybody's getting married. I think that maybe Hallmark could show next time a love story and the 2 or 3 years that follow a marriage.
Yeah, that would be fun, right?
To see how that goes.
Yes.
It isn't all falling in love. It's, doing the laundry and cleaning the dishes and changing dirty diapers.
That's not the fun part, though, Dad.
No.
That's not the fun part.
That's a fun part, is those dirty diapers. And you go, oh my God, the smell. And that's all part of marriage and happiness. And Hallmark makes us all very happy. And that's the pleasant part of life.
Yeah.
I do want to make comment that 2 years ago, Jordan and I started following the love and the relationship of Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce, and we've commented from time to time about how this love interest is going and how their interest in each other. And last week we got engaged. Not you and I, but Travis and Taylor. And we're very happy for them. And we'll see the engagement, and the wedding, I understand, has already been announced. I think it's for November 22nd.
Of this year?
Of this year.
Wow, that was a fast engagement.
So I'm going to have to get my tuxedo, my tie, and
I didn't realize it was so soon.
I'm going to wait for my invitation.
I'm surprised they're doing it during football season.
Well, I had no idea.
Yeah, wow.
But they're a cute couple.
They are. Do you know what? I loved how the announcement had the English teacher is engaged to the gym teacher. Right. I love that, because they know they're just intellectually a little bit different, but they're just opposites attract, and they are adorable together.
Yes.
So,
And,
and when you hear their friends talk,
Yes.
I watched some interviews, and their friends said they've never seen a couple that's so in love that
Yes.
they just are always touching and kissing, and they're just so in love. So I'm so happy
Right.
for them. So
And-
much joy for them. In
yeah, and
their
they're
future life.
35 years old, so
Yeah.
they're not youngsters.
No.
They've,
But on that, we're in fall into love season with Hallmark,
Mhm.
and we are starting a trilogy. Remember the Wedding Veil series, what we
oh,
loved?
yes.
So we are starting a new trilogy. This is called the Groomsmen
Three
trilogy.
guys are each going to have a love story.
A love story, which we haven't seen on Hallmark, the guy's perspective on love. And I'm excited for this. To see it from a guy's point of view of them going through the love story and getting married and finding love and that, I think it's about time.
Hallmark is coming up with all different types of stories to be appealing to the audience and to try to keep happiness in our life.
Yeah.
And last Saturday night, we watched Happiness with the stories in Montauk, and it's a lot of fun. And we look forward to autumn, and we'll have Halloween and Thanksgiving, and I'm sure Hallmark will have something for each of those particular.
Absolutely. So next week, it's the Groomsmen's first look, and in this series, we are going to have our Tyler Hines, who is phenomenal, and then we have Jonathan Bennett and BJ Britt, and then Heather Hemmons.
Yes.
And so it should be great. Looking forward to it.
It's quite a lineup.
It is a lineup.
Yes.
So we will see you next week, and I hope everybody has a great week.
Right. Enjoy the football season, and enjoy watching the Kansas City Chiefs, and see how they do on the field, and hope that everybody has a wonderful autumn.
And yes, happy fall.
Goodbye, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Thank you for watching.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for watching our last video. I want to send my dearest apology. My mother got a little carried away. She decided she usually is upstairs while we're filming, but she had some sales today, so she was packing up her packages in the other room and didn't realize that it was able to be heard on her filming. So there she was ripping the tape, and you guys got to hear it. So we apologize. We are not refilming it because it takes so long to film. So we apologize, but please ignore the tape tearing. She will be quiet and upstairs next week. She promises, and we hope you enjoyed it. And please watch The Catch of the Day. It was a phenomenal film by Hallmark, and we will see you next week. Have a great one, and happy fall. Bye-bye.